Is this the Teahouse podcast?
Good evening, teabaggers. Thank you once again for joining us at the Teahouse. I'm Lincoln, and I'm joined by my co-host,
Biani B.
The
Killer.
We have a very good episode in store for you guys tonight. We're joined by comedian, stand-up comedian,
And impressionist.
and an expert impressionist, I'll have you, Cody Jones. It's an absolute fucking classic episode, and very keen for you guys to see it. And just again, I want to quickly shout out Adam and Eve for sponsoring us once again. Legends of the game. Grab your coffee if you haven't already, and enjoy the episode. Cody, glad to have you on board for tonight's episode, mate. How are you?
Good, really good. Good to be here. Thanks for having me, fellas.
Yeah,
no worries, legend.
Love
What's
what you've
happening?
done with the place.
Yeah,
Lighting, the decorations,
bit of atmosphere.
the coffee cups, the
I know.
beers, the complimentary beer as I walked in the door. That was great.
Yeah, they're light beers though because of Lincoln. Or are they mids? What are they?
They actually, yeah, they're light ones.
Yeah.
You got to watch them calories, Blake. All right.
I'm talking about the alcohol, man. It's 0.09, idiot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
More calories come with that, all right?
I work in a craft beer shop and like my standard is like 9% beers now. Like for some reason I've just crept up into that world of like exotic stouts and IPAs and stuff, and it's like,
So basically, this is a lemon lime bitter for you.
Yeah.
yeah, it's like a soft drink. I feel like it's just a Russian person drinking a beer, you know.
I actually just offered Cody a glass of water and he said no, so now I know that he's pretty much drinking water right now, so doesn't need one.
Yeah, it's
Like-
refreshing.
Oh, that's good. I brought this up with Blake. I was like, I want to talk about this dream that I had, and Blake's like, is it going to be cringe? And I was like, no, I have weird dreams, right? And you know how you don't remember dreams sometimes for like a while? Like I remembered this at like lunchtime today, and I was like, this is that weird. So I have weird nightmares, I would say. My nightmares are a bit all over the place. So I woke, like my dream was,
This feels like one now.
yeah,
Got it.
mate, my
Pregnancy.
my nightmare.
Oh, damn it.
Yeah. My nightmare was, right, so like where I work, like all around me is like parking spots, and they like made it so you have to pay.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That is a nightmare.
Yeah, literally. So my nightmare was that I went out to my car and there was like 8 stacked up parking fines.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, because you know how if you get one parking fine, you can't get another one? Yeah, they were just and it was like $1,000 bill. And I was like, what the fuck? Went in to get me keys, came back, and there was like 8 more. And then I was like, what the actual fuck is happening right now? This is the worst. And I was like doing the maths, and I was like, this is like a $2,000 fine. And it's been like half an hour. What am I going to do? And then I woke up and I was like, fuck, how am I going to pay for this? Because you know how you wake up from a nightmare and you're like, this is so realistic.
You really
Was that
stressed.
so? It was a realistic. I was going to ask, is it a realistic one? Because when it's a realistic one, you wake up and you still feel like it happened.
Yeah.
You're
All the
still drinking
time.
your coffee and you're like shaking a little bit and stuff.
Mate, it's
Still
only
stressed.
nightmares though. It's only nightmares for me that I
Same.
wake up in realisticness. I was like,
Yeah.
it's fucked.
I
It's actually fucked.
don't remember my dreams that aren't nightmares. I hardly remember my nightmares, actually.
The
Me
good
too.
ones are never
Mine
good
are-
enough.
It has to be weird enough for me to go, I better remember that.
Yeah. And
Otherwise, I know
even
shit
then-
happens during me sleep, but I never remember it. But I knew something happened last
Yeah.
night. You know what I mean? You get that weird feeling. It's like something really happened last night and it was really revealing and I probably should have remembered it and I needed that information.
Yeah.
You have the
That's-
thought there. You're like, oh, I swear I remember it, but I don't.
You had like a really nice like ego death, like you were about to change
Yeah.
your life around, and then next minute,
Epiphany.
fuck it.
Do you guys ever
maybe?
have reoccurring dreams?
I used to.
Like a dream that is like similarly, that happens kind of regularly, you know what I mean? But different.
Yeah, it's always someone dying that I know, but it's always recurring. It's an absolutely horrifying loop to be stuck in. Have you guys ever had mushrooms?
Yes.
I have, but it never did anything. I did it once, but it never
Didn't do anything.
Yeah, I don't think I had enough.
Last time I did it was in Bali. It was at lit.
Really?
That was
Yeah,
good.
they love mushrooms over there, man.
On the islands, yeah, it was sick.
On the Gilly Islands?
tea.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep. Jesus. Okay. Okay. Yeah.
That's where we're going.
Well, recurring dreams, because when you bring that up, I felt like when you're on shrooms, for me, I had a ridiculous dose the first time I had it, and I was just in a dream. I was just in it. Like, it was just like a dream, but I was in it, like I was living it now.
Really?
Yeah, that's what the state of mind was like for me. And I remember I spent like 3 hours trying to turn the kitchen light off.
Yeah.
And in this loop, I was stuck in a loop of going, there's a switch. oh, it's still on. Oh, let me really think and concentrate and try and work this out. Flick it again. And it kept going on. It was like my brain was missing a piece or something.
I would have enjoyed to see that personally. Imagine because obviously it would have been turning off. But
yeah, maybe. I don't know. But I kept going through the hallway too. And then I kept waking up in the bed.
Yeah.
It's like, how did I get back to the bed? And then I was going through the hallway, turn the light off, and then back in the bed. Back through the hallway, turn the light off, back in the bed.
Yeah.
I was in like this loop of and I was like, this is where bad trips happen because you're like, I'm never getting out of this. I'm going to be turning a light off for the rest of my days.
Yeah.
I'm just going to be getting out of a bed, turning a light off because that's how long it felt like it was going on for, an eternity. But yeah.
I have experienced the exact same. I've told you this story about when I was. Can you guys remember when chronic was legal?
Yes, I do.
Remember when you could go to the fucking just the shop down and just buy chronic?
Yeah, bad.
Metal Mosh deliveries, midnight deliveries. What was it? Is that what it was?
Come in like a little sachet. Yeah. Like you tear the thing off and pour it into a bowl. And
Yeah, the devil's lettuce. You just had that one?
Yeah, dude.
Was it called Devil's Lettuce?
Yeah,
There was one called
Devil's
that,
Lettuce.
yeah. I had one called Black Widow. That was probably the worst one I had, but this one didn't make me trip. But I've told you this one, Blake, I reckon. Like it literally was the worst experience of my life probably to date. Like if when you say bad trip, I would say that is what you probably call a bad trip. But it was like very similar to what you just experienced. So it was through
that stuff does the same thing to you. Like I remember having that, and it's like it's horrific.
It's so bad.
You feel like you're going to be like that forever.
So it was weird. I smoked it through a pipe, right? And I was really young, and I smoked it really young. I was 12, man. I was like, but I smoked it through a pipe, and then I shit you not, it would have been 5 minutes later, I started the trip. So you know how you said it was repeating for you? So everything was repeating for me. So it felt like I was in there for about 3 months. That is no shit. It literally felt like, and I knew it was happening, but I could not stop it happening. But at the same time, this was what made it worse. It felt like, you know how you have pins and needles in your hand? Yeah. So I had pins and needles in my whole body, and it was exaggeratedly fucked. And what I was seeing, I don't know what you were seeing, but what I was seeing was just blackness, and then every now and then an object would come up and touch me. I ran into a clothesline. I couldn't see it, but the only thing I remember was hitting it, and then it repeated 30 times.
Yep.
And then there was certain other things that repeated, and it was honestly the worst fucking thing I've ever had.
That's horrible.
And then
That's
I never did it
horrifying.
again after that. I was like, I'm never ever touching this shit again. And yeah, it's probably good that it went illegal. It went illegal, didn't it?
I think so. I don't think they can, because they were getting around it by saying that it's incense.
It's synthetic.
Yeah.
It was synthetic. It wasn't actually legit.
Not for, and they just put on the bag, not for human consumption. And everyone's like, yeah, not for human consumption.
Yeah.
So that's how they were selling it.
Oh yeah, I remember that. That's how they
Yeah.
were actually doing it, weren't they?
Yeah,
I
they
feel
were
like
people were buying it off eBay and jumping off cliffs and killing themselves and stuff like that. It was horrible.
Oh my god, is that actually? That does not surprise
it's
me.
pretty
Someone in
cool.
Adelaide did that. Yeah,
Heaps
And
of people were
that's-
having seizures too, I reckon.
Yeah,
I used to know a dude, right? I swear to God, he'd sit in his backyard. He would light up a joint of chronic, pass out, wake up about an hour later, relight it, pass out again, and just repeat
Oh,
the
God.
whole night long.
That is not good.
Mate.
That synthetic stuff's that's not where you want to be.
fucking not.
At least the mushrooms, it's people think there's some sort of science there that helps you
Microdosing it and
life
stuff.
life
Yeah.
and stuff.
I've seen
That's what
that.
I did. I was like, yeah, just give me all of them, and I just kept eating them like they were just chips at a party, and
They're
just
so dry.
I never had
they're
enough.
horrible.
I've never had enough to actually trip off mushrooms though, because you're actually meant to take a fair bit to actually trip.
Yeah.
Every time I've done it, it was more like a nice, relaxing sort of feeling. You'd sort of see things, sort of.
Colors would get more vibrant and stuff.
Yeah,
That's
stuff
what I was
like that.
after.
Yeah.
But I went.
That's what I wanted.
I went out. At one point, I was watching myself. My girlfriend was completely sober, and I had a mate there who was equally as high as I was on shrooms.
Yeah.
So he's freaking out. It hit us both at the same time, and she was just sober. She's like, "What's happened to these blokes?" Because we're flipping out. He thinks the house is on fire. I'm out of my body. I was levitating above my own body, just watching her console me. Like, "Are you okay? What's happening?" And then I come back and looked at her, and it was just a weird thing, but was good though. The next morning I woke
All
up.
in all, enjoyed it. 10 out of 10 would do again.
Was a vibe.
I needed it. I think I feel like I needed to do it for some reason. It gave me a lot of insight.
They say that a lot about a lot of psychedelics and stuff though. you learn a lot of lessons from a lot of like LSD, shrooms and stuff like that. They reckon like you always seem like if you go in with questions, you leave with them in a way, like
you get your answers.
In a sense.
You do, that's 100%. I reckon because you go in there and it brings stuff that you've been putting in your back of your head forever and you've been keeping it there. Brings it forward and then you deal with it. It's like, oh, why do I care that people don't like my comedy or whatever? It's like that. Like, for example.
Yeah.
And then you come out of it and you're like, oh, I don't care. Why would I care? Why would I ever care? So it's all this stupid stuff that it gets rid of and it clears the fog.
True. So it's a bit enlightening.
It can be. It can be.
Yeah,
and it can be absolutely terrifying.
If you use it for the right reasons. That's what they reckon.
And you need to be in a good environment, don't you? Isn't that like
you want
that helps a lot?
And you want to be in a good mental place too, because it can be it can have pretty bad effects on people if they're not ready.
I've had like semi-bad trips, but it was like not long enough for me to count it as a bad trip because the whole time was a good time. It was just like bad moments.
Yeah, that's what I would say mine was. Yeah. But it's some crazy stats on it. Like 95% of people who want to quit smoking and then do microdosing quit smoking. So it's like highly effective. Yeah, it's highly effective. And it's also like when people have terminal cancer and stuff like that, they microdose, come to terms with death, and helps them relax, which is crazy. But no one knows anything about it and also makes you go absolutely batshit crazy sometimes. So don't do it. Whatever happens.
We're not condoning this
at all. Just get on nicotine patches or whatever they are. Just don't
have bad nightmares and that's it.
Till we know. Yeah. So that's nightmares, yeah. Have you ever had a lucid dream?
He used to try.
I used to try all the time. Like I reckon I tried for about 2 months to really, really try. Like, I don't know, have you like looked into it yourself?
I accidentally did it once and never wanted to do it again.
Really? Was it a bad experience?
It was a lucid dream, but then it was sleep paralysis.
Oh, okay. I've heard that is honestly fucking frightening.
Someone come through the door, a demon entity come through the door, and I was
a black figure?
in bed still. Yeah, it was a black figure with like a real tight face, like it had a stocking over its face. I was like, Jesus, that was horrible, and I don't ever want to do it again. But Broden, the co-host of my podcast, used to do it. Like he mastered it. He was like he could go to bed and just do it. He's like, oh, I have a lucid dream tonight. And he was just walking around in his dream operating.
But people say it could be helpful because like you can actually like learn in your sleep and stuff like that. Like some people, it's like being awake for double the time in certain ways and stuff.
That's why I wanted to learn it. So when I was trying it, was when we were practicing guitar. And I wanted to try and teach myself guitar while I was asleep so I would learn the chords better.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, that's a great idea.
Yeah.
Because time's an illusion in your dream. So you could probably like learn overnight if you really mastered.
Well, that's what people said. People said that like, because apparently like really known people, I swear to God, people said like Einstein used to do it. And like what you would do, because essentially, all right, let's say you have 8 hours through the day of you learning something and then you get an extra 8 hours while you're asleep. You have, that's 16 hours a day to learn something. And then still wake up really good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's like my intrigued.
If there was some sort of like science behind it because surely if you mastered the human mind enough, you could do stuff like that. Yeah. And I feel like that's the future when you can just fully operate, like you manually controlling your brain like a puppet. Because right now your brain's in charge. Yeah. If you're going to be depressed, you're going to be depressed.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty,
I sound like a fucking mental patient saying your brain's in charge of you. Like, separate person. But
it is though.
But we've mapped 10% of the brain. Imagine if you could actually control everything.
No. So, you know how there is like that, what's that? Fucking, I don't even know what it's called, but like.
Mythbusters.
Yeah, that myth. Oh, that's the word I was looking for. The myth where humans only control 10% of their brain and you need it's going to be unlocked to 90%. Yeah, it's actually a myth.
Okay.
So think about it. Yeah, your whole brain, you definitely use it. Yeah, so because I thought that was true as well, but it actually isn't. I don't.
They're just different parts.
It doesn't surprise me. I'm not a scientist at all.
No, but I thought it for ages until I actually seen it, and I was like, it actually is pretty dumb if you think about it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, as if you would only use 10% of your brain. Like, so I'm pretty sure. Don't fact check me on that, but I'm pretty sure that's legit.
Yeah. It's like. Who knows, man? There's such a what we don't know about life is a much thicker book than what we do know about life, and it scares the fucking shit out of me.
Well, what we know about anything these days is quite worrying. Like no one even knows anything about fucking politics these days. No one knows anything.
Certainly not me.
Okay? Yeah, I don't know. That's what I mean.
Yeah.
But there's also so much false information about absolutely everything going around. Like,
Yeah, it's a perfect time to be a comedian. It really is.
Yeah. I think that cues me on to like start talking about what we're actually here to actually start talking about. So
Yeah, I feel like we just did a whole podcast.
we went on a
mushrooms.
we went a whole venture of fucking magic right there.
Holy
I'd call
shit.
it. That was funny as.
It happens.
No, but so being a comedian, obviously, what you just said, how is that kind of being? So, for those who don't know, all of our international viewers, there's fucking heaps of views.
heaps of teabaggers.
Heaps of teabaggers. We're in a very small country town. When I say small, I mean not that small.
Always say that. It's not that small.
Okay, I'm going from what I've been told from Geelong people that we live in a fucking bunch of sticks, mate.
Well, Geelong people have maybe double the size. So they can fuck up. All right.
Yeah.
People from Melbourne think we all just have like cows in our backyards
Yeah.
and shit.
Mate,
Everyone in
100%.
Bendigo is a farmer.
That's
Right.
legit. I don't even reckon someone from Melbourne has seen a kangaroo.
So blood. We have suburbs.
Yeah.
All right. What's up? What are-
They built the kangaroos into Bundura. They're stuck there now. They built around that big parkland. They're stuck there.
Yeah.
Oh,
My mate
really?
was telling me about it.
No,
They
really?
can't get out.
No,
Oh, really?
That is actually true. It's like
They built them in.
Oh no!
Even,
did they?
yeah, they actually did it, like South Morang and stuff like that. Yeah,
They're
actually
stuck. They're stuck in the city.
Oh my
And
God.
people wonder why they're like going through the plazas and stuff like that.
Yeah.
There's like, oh my god, there was a kangaroo in the street. Yeah, because they're built in there.
They're trying to fucking be free.
They're trying to get to fucking New South Wales. They're trying to get there for 20 years.
Yeah.
Poor
That's
bastards.
actually gold.
like us.
Yeah. But how would you say it is kind of being? How long have you been a comedian for? Would you class yourself as?
Doing stand up, I started in 2015.
Yep.
So 6 years. But I started doing like comedy videos before that
Like skits.
when I
and-
knew that I wanted to start
Making
being in
people
that
laugh.
in that comedy world. Yeah. And then there was a gig at the Shamrock Hotel here in Bendigo that was like offering spots for newcomers, and I was like, that's sweet, because there was it was back in a time when they were like booking really good acts
Yep.
to headline. So you had this opportunity, which is hard to get in Melbourne, to be a newcomer, but also get to gig with some of these like Dave Hughes people or Limo, these sort of
Yeah.
people who already have a name for themselves.
Yep.
So I did that, and just all started. Once you do it once and you have a good one, you just want to keep doing it.
How was the first one?
It was good. Like
First
'cause
show.
I feel like it was good because it was 5 minutes, and I'd thought about it for 2 years leading up to it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
had to build that courage. So it was like you're good. Your first set when you're doing comedy is always good because you've thought about it for so long.
Yeah.
You've gone over it and you've actually.
It'd be
honed
fucking
it.
hard to get the gonads to do it for the very first time.
I was just absolutely shitting myself.
Oh man.
Shaking, legs were trembling. But then you land a joke and that sort of nervous energy all goes away once you land
Yeah.
that first one.
Get some giggles. Because me and Blake went and watched one of your little show things last night, but it was like a collective of a fair few comedians that got up every.
More of an open night.
it was-
Open mic.
Open mic night. Yeah.
And it was like 10-minute sets, maybe not even that.
five minutes is the norm. Yeah.
5 minutes, yeah. So we fucking, when I got there, we were like, watched like the first couple of guys go up, and I was like to Blake, I was like, I would be fucking shitting myself if I was up there. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
it's like
yeah.
kind of, because if
threatening.
if a joke doesn't land, it's like you feel the awkwardness. You know what I mean? Because like,
Yeah.
it's like that. It's secondhand embarrassment. You know what I mean? That secondhand awkwardness. You're like, fuck, I wish that didn't happen, but it did. And you know what I mean? Like,
Exactly,
that's
yeah.
like the biggest. That would be the biggest fear of comedy in general, wouldn't it? Like just jokes
Yeah.
that don't land and you're not actually funny.
Well, that's like the hurdle you got to overcome. I feel like, and it takes like 2 or 3 years. I think
Yeah.
for everyone that I've seen or come up doing it with, it's like there's this hurdle of like, of course you care, like because we do so many bad gigs in the first 2 years, so many bad gigs because you're just not good. You're not good at it.
Yeah.
But you just got to keep doing it. It's like being a white belt at jiu-jitsu or something like that. It's like you just got to keep being shit.
Yeah.
And
Practice
be
makes
comfortable
perfect.
at being shit. And then don't get too disheartened when you have a shit. Because I remember having because I had that really good one, and then the next month or 2 months later, I was there again.
Yep.
Had a terrible set, terrible. And I was like, I'm never doing this again. I'm walking away. I left. For 2 weeks, I didn't even think about comedy. I was just depressed. Why would I get so upset about that? It's like there's a reason that you're meant to be shit at something. You can't just be good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone just
literally.
thinks that you can just walk into comedy. It's like, it's not how it works. It's
That's why a lot of people don't try new things too, because they want to always be in that comfort zone. Never want to. Me too. Like even some things I'm just like, do I really want to do
I
that?
fell into that trap with my comedy recently. It's like I've probably got about 20 minutes of good material that tends to work whenever I go to these other towns and stuff like that. So it's 20 minutes. When I need to do 20 minutes, I'll just do that. Put it together, best of all the shows I've done over the years. It's all there. It's all written. And I was like, I've been doing this for 2.5 years and I hate it. And then it made me hate comedy. So I was like, yeah, I've got to get back to that point when I was starting out and I was just coming up with new ideas when I was driving to work or whatever. And I'm like, that's a fucking joke. I've got to write that down and start doing it again. Because, yeah, you can easily fall out of... When it's not thrilling anymore, when you lose that, like, nervous energy, then it's just... What are you doing it for?
Yeah, that's 100% true.
That nervous energy of worrying about, like, when you are going to fail or bomb or the joke's not going to land, that's what you need in the back burner. But you can't show it.
Yeah.
So this is how you become a good comedian, I think. Is you have that energy, but you mask it with confidence or whatever your shtick is. Like you might be an unconfident comedian, that's your thing, but you mask it with your character. In the back of your mind, you're like, if this doesn't land, it's over. And you know that because if you get 30 seconds at a comedy set to win them over, and if you don't, it's like climbing a mountain. You just miss and you fall.
Yeah.
You keep falling. It's very hard to get them back.
Why is that, you reckon?
Would you say the first 30 seconds is the most important to grab people's attention?
Yeah,
like the first joke.
100% at a comedy club where people have paid money for tickets.
Yeah.
I would say, that you've got to land your first joke. Sometimes it's not 30 seconds, depending on like
what the joke is.
What you are, like what character you are.
I completely agree. It's like anything, like fucking videos on Facebook and TikTok and blah, blah, blah. If you're not intrigued by the first 5 to 10 seconds, that's it.
Usually,
you're just going to scroll straight past.
Usually I'd agree with that. But in this case, they're at the place where are they going to look?
True. Like you're there to see that. Yeah, that's
so,
true.
So people like, they don't care whether they don't care what you have to say really. It's just like, make me laugh.
Yeah.
A lot of the time it's like, just make me laugh. That's what I'm here for. That's what I pay money for.
Yeah.
And you can get caught up and fuck your setup, and then it goes downhill. And once you haven't really got them and you start doing material that's not your strongest, it's just it's a downhill slope, and it's proper horrible.
Yeah,
like,
it would be.
But everyone bombs, and that's a part of it. And if you feel like you're a person that can't handle bombing, then you can't do comedy.
Yeah.
'Cause you have shit gigs more than you have good ones.
Yeah.
Well, what would
not
you
for
say?
The faint-hearted.
Yeah,
it's not for the
earth.
but then you get to a point where you
get used to it.
where you like it, you actually enjoy it. Like me, I like going down badly just as much as like I don't mind. I hate bombing, but if a joke doesn't land, it doesn't make me upset. It makes me go, oh yeah. Like if it's a particularly crude joke or something like that, and I hear people go, oh, disgusted. Like I'm equally happy by that. I like
because you're like, oh, I'm not going to tell that joke
well.
again. Like, are you just like, oh, I'm not going to use that in the next show, kind of thing, or?
I just find it funny. Like, like there's nothing funnier than a bombing like someone who sucks.
Oh, really?
Like
yeah,
that's also
true.
funny as well.
Yeah.
And you'll always hear like at a comedy club, if you're seeing someone bombing, you'll hear like 5 or 6 people laughing. It's always other comedians because that's the funniest thing for them. It's like watching their mate up there die and eat a bag of shit. It's the best. But you learn to love it, and you get off stage and go, fuck, I died up there. And then everyone goes, oh, you'll get them next time. And then everyone, if you're having beers or whatever after the gig, everyone will use you as you're basically the punching bag for the rest of the night.
You're the joke of the night.
Yeah.
That's so good.
Like, as long as you've got like a good network of comedians that you work with, which I do. I'm lucky enough to like be involved in a crew that goes around to rural towns in Victoria, and we just do pubs, and it's good. Some good comics in there in the on the road comedy.
Yeah. What would you say because I'm very, very intrigued to know this. What would you say like your worst bombing experience was in stand up? Like have you ever had really bad ones where you're like, fuck?
Yeah, one wasn't my fault, but I was involved in it. We did it was for a charity. It's a Ronald McDonald House charity gig.
Yeah.
And it was at the All Seasons complex. And it's like 350 seat venue. It's the biggest gig I've done to that point.
Yep.
And I was like 2 years in, if that. And so it's a charity for sick children. And all these people, all the audience members were people who'd been on a big, long, the cyclists. So they went on a charity ride. So they're all exhausted. They're sitting there. They're like, okay, we got some music. We got some comedians. And they brought the comedians on. And my mate who hosted the night went up there. And the first thing he did, remember, this is a charity about sick kids, for raising money for sick children in hospital. His first joke was about making fun of sick children.
I knew you were going to say that. I knew you were going to say
And I don't know what planet or what frame of thinking he thought that would ever be a fucking good idea. Like what? Oh. He's been doing comedy for 2 years, and he thought that all of a sudden he's Louis CK and can just go up there and just win people over.
What was the joke?
Horrible.
What was the joke?
His cousin was one of the cyclists, and he's a smaller guy, and he just got up there and said something about my cousin's here. Say his name's Johnny. Johnny, yeah, he's so small and he looks so sick after one of these long rides that they're not sure if he's one of the people from one of the sick kids or one of the cyclists or something like that. It was just and then he got off and it was like, you're up. Welcome to the stage, Cody Jones. And I was like, you're not putting me in there. I got up and everyone was just, no comedian did well for the night. There was like 4 of us and no one did well. And they were all just looking at us like eating their Kievs, like, get off. And there was angry people too. And I just did like 2 minutes, went, this isn't going to work. Put the mic back in the stand, stormed off through the crowd, went to make a sort of a dramatic exit out of the building. It was like double doors. Went to push them. They were bolted shut. So I made a dickhead of myself as I was trying to run away. So I went, and then everyone laughed, ironically. Everyone was like, yeah, well done. Like, that's when you get the laugh.
That is so good.
But that was honestly the most painful experience I've bombed a lot, but yeah, that was something else.
Oh, that's actually so funny.
That is a pure story.
That's so
actually doesn't get better than that. I love how it just set the vibe for everyone too. I was like, no.
Yeah, he just sort of got off stage and went, all right, you try and fix it.
Fucking handball to you, mate.
Yeah,
there you go.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that is actually classic, and I would hate to be there in that moment. But
painful.
Yeah. Would you say, like, as a whole, and this kind of comes under you as well, because like you might have had to change the way you like play your shows and like what you write about. Would you say in the recent years where all this cancel culture is like popping up, that it's affecting comedy as a whole as well as like small people like you? Or do you reckon it's not as much for you, but just in general?
Definitely.
I feel like I would say no, not the proper comedians, because people are still buying tickets to Bill Burr's show and stuff. Like if anyone's going to get cancelled, it should be Bill Burr based on their narrative, but it's not happening. He's better than he's ever been in his life, and he goes on SNL and says all that stuff that he did, and it was great, and everyone loves it. So I feel like it's not really affecting. If anything, it's giving professional comedians more fodder, I feel like, to work with.
It actually would, because then they get talked about in the media, and then they're just getting more fucking hype,
more publicity.
Yeah, they just get more publicity.
I was going to say, because
and people want the truth as much as like the media is drowned out by this cancel culture and stuff like that. People just want to hear the truth.
Yep.
Be it in comedy, like Bill Burr's the best at it.
Yep.
He just says things and you're like, every joke you're just like, well, he's got a point. It's always truth. And that's all people want is truth. And they want it in comedy form at a comedy show.
It's like
give them the truth in comedy form, then you're winning. You're getting to dominate.
Literally. Like I was going to say, like the Ricky Gervais Golden Globes one, like that one fucking just ripped Hollywood an absolute new one.
Just because you're saying like things that are offending people doesn't mean that you've got grounds to cancel someone. Like if you're offended, then fuck off. It's as simple as that.
Literally. And it's getting to that point too, like where if we're literally going to be taking our own rights away if we are going to just keep cancelling. But then they're going to be the same people that when it gets turned on them, they're going to be like, oh, forgive me. But they've created this culture of cancelling and no forgiveness.
It's weird.
It's like insane. Like it's crazy as fuck. Do you not make mistakes? There's no one. I don't want cunts to cancel people for mistakes, cunt. Because imagine like I'll fuck up tomorrow. Everyone hates me for the rest of my life. Spit on me as I walk past.
It's like changing the goalposts the goalposts are always changing, so you never know where actually you stand.
Yep.
Sometimes like societal norms change with the passage of time, and people have sort of forgotten that. It's like a weird, like, we've always been woke and like we live in the most progressive time ever. Like everyone's got an opportunity, but we act as if it's the worst time ever to live. Like everyone's oppressed or something. It's just like, just shut the fuck up and listen to me comedy set. And I fell into a trap. I fell into a trap of like hanging out with too many woke people and like, oh, I don't know if you should say that. Because I had this joke about trans animals, like people who thought that they were, because people out there who think they're platypus and shit. And I just think that's mentally fucking fucked up. I don't feel like you can be a platypus if you want. It doesn't matter what you feel inside. Sorry. That's how I feel.
I'm the same.
And then someone complained. There was a person at the gig, a Melbourne comedian, who was just like, I think you should have a word with Cody. He shouldn't be doing that material. It's like, fuck you. You don't tell me what to do. It's up to me whether I feel like I should fucking say it or not, whether I think it's funny. And B, everyone in the fucking audience was killing themselves laughing at the joke. So I don't know who I should take advice off, the audience or the
1%.
Triggered. And then I fell into this trap for years of just not right. Because when I first started doing comedy, I was like, I'm writing stuff that's offensive because it gives me a thrill. This is going back to my earlier point about I want to have the thrill back of getting on stage. And I'd write stuff that'll be like, I'd put it down on paper, like, oh, fuck, that could go real bad. Yes, let's do it. And I stopped doing it for about 2 or 3 years because I was like getting sucked into this, like, get up there and be Jerry Seinfeld sort of behavior, and it seems like it's everywhere in the Melbourne scene is like this, you won't get booked at that room if you do that material. It's like, I don't give a fuck. Like, where there's a point where you got to fucking
take a stand for what you believe in.
Yeah, just be more true to yourself. Like, that's not, I'm funnier when I'm writing that material. So why did I ever stop doing that? And I'm actually a bit disappointed in myself that it got to that point that I let people sort of manipulate me and go, well, I don't think you should do that. And I actually took it on board.
It's easy to do with social media.
It is, yeah, it is. You sort of get sucked in. I've never been that way. But I just wanted to succeed at comedy, I think. And I wanted an easy path. But now it's like, I don't feel that way anymore. It's like, I actually want to trigger. I do want to trigger some people. I actually just want to do that because it's funny. It's funny watching people throw tantrums about things that, why are you even here? Or like people who throw tantrums about your YouTube videos or something like that. It's like, you clicked on the fucking video. It's your fault you're here.
Yeah.
I didn't force it down your throat. I didn't come in like a Jehovah's Witness and sit on your couch and say, watch this or I'll kill you.
Yep.
It's like, just stop. Just stop all this. Yeah, that's how I feel about it, just to get that off my chest.
No.
Yeah.
Ooh, weightlifted right there.
Yeah. Ooh, that's what I've wanted to say that for so long on a podcast.
Would you say it's complete, like, you sound like it's changed the way that you're not being yourself.
For a period, I wasn't.
Yeah. So you changed the way that you would normally be doing stand up. It's not your actual true.
Just catering to too many people, not himself.
Correct. Yeah. Yeah. I was like, because I've got these darker jokes.
couple of them.
I got a few of those, and I like them more. They're more enjoyable for me to do. But then I've got all this stuff about my family, which is just that relatable stuff, which works. But it's not fun. There's no thrill to it. It's just like, oh yeah, my dad, just about my dad and my parents and stuff like that. It was family shit. And it's just not thrilling and fun and exciting. But if you go up there and talk about 9/11 or something like that, it's just like, it gives you a bit more of something to live for. It's like, yeah, come on, let's see what happens.
Do you like Andrew Schulz?
Yeah, that guy was great. The New York comic, is he? Yeah.
He's funny because he just picks on the crowd. So like,
crowd workers are great, man.
Yeah. And he's good at it too. And like, they're funny too because he literally just says the shit I'd be like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Fully offended by it.
He just called over. You know,
it's so good. Like he calls people like, horrible shit. This is great. It's like, he should be allowed to do that. It's a comedy club.
Yeah.
I feel like they should be a little bit hostile. But now you got it. Like now the whole culture is like, it's a safe space. It's a safe comedy room. Well, I don't want to be there. I don't want to feel safe. I feel like someone could abuse the shit out of me if I go to the toilet, if I'm at a comedy room.
Well, that's what I always like fucking, whenever I hear about comedy, people are just like, either, it depends on you personally, but you don't want to be on the front row seats because, you're going to get fucked up. You know what I mean? And I feel like that's how it should be because...
Well, that's how that's
you know
how a good room is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You shouldn't just. Yeah, I reckon that's.
If you get there late, you sit in the front. Bad luck.
Yeah. They fill up from the back that way. Doesn't it?
We've got like whenever I run rooms and stuff, I've got this trick of like getting all these reserve signs and putting them on the back half of this audience so people can't sit in them.
Yeah.
Then when everyone's seated at the front, then take them away.
Yeah.
So people will go automatically go into a room and sit at the back. It's like, no.
Oh, really?
Sitting at the back. Yeah, people will get as far away from the comedians as possible and just snigger from the shadows at the back.
I reckon I fucking nearly would too.
Yeah.
To be fair, me and Lincoln actually did that last night, technically.
You weren't even involved in the audience. That's great.
We're sitting off to the side.
I saw you sneak in. At the first, you're like as far away as you possibly get, but you crept in.
Yeah, we crept in.
It's because we couldn't hear from over there. We're like, fuck, better get it.
I wanted to be involved a bit more. No, we actually generally were trying to sit up, but then like we're like, fuck, I don't think there's any seats left.
Yeah, we're like, fuck, is there seats?
Yeah.
And we didn't want to be like that awkward like squeezing through and then like fuck,
to
we have to
turn
turn around. You know what I mean? That awkward like turning back.
Nothing worse.
Walk of shame.
Walk of shame.
Gold.
Yeah. It's a good time to be a comedian. I think every time is.
Who would you say like inspires you, like comedians like now sort of thing?
Gervais and Louis C.K.
Yeah,
both those guys, 100%.
Gervais is good actually.
Yeah,
His humor is so
just got
funny.
too many different. He's just got so many like avenues, like so many different shows. He can't be cancelled because he's just got too much fucking money. He's way richer than the average mate. He
wrote The Office, and that started his career. The original UK,
the UK one. Yeah.
Which he wrote. That was the original, and I feel like that's the best sitcom I've ever seen. Like, and then from that point on, I was like, yeah, you can actually make whatever you want.
Yep.
And that's the thing about comedy, and especially videos and acting and stuff, and like writing your own shows. It's like you can actually make whatever you want.
100%.
Whatever you want. The world's your oyster.
You've just got to have that one thing that twings on to some people, an audience.
Yeah.
And then that's all it takes to blow up, I reckon.
I think so. And yeah, inject the comedy.
like it's even classy that you're even doing a cop show. I reckon that's fucking sick, personally.
The Bonk City Detective.
Yeah, that's mad.
What is it? The bonk.
Bonk City.
Bonk.
So yeah, Bonk City. I don't know. It's just come from somewhere. But we're a couple of detectives, and there's a pearl thief on the loose, and we track him down. Actually, I do a bit of kung fu on him, and then we have a shootout, and then arrest him. So go and check it out. It's on YouTube. It's available there.
Yeah.
But yeah, we made that, and honestly, it was like, well, you'd know this thing, like filming. It's like when you're doing takes, because we wrote like a basic script, but it was more like in the age of digital cameras and stuff like that. You can just keep doing a set until it's absolutely funny. Like change it. All right, do that again, but say this instead, and do a gesture with your hand or something, or walk off, or and you can really hone it in, especially if it's just two of you and you're not paying for people to be on the set and stuff like that. You can really just hone every avenue of comedy, and that's what I really enjoyed about it, because I just love taking a thing and making it funnier. Yeah, and that's what I was doing with the other guys who were in there, and they were doing it with me. It's
good fun, isn't it?
It's great. It's the most fun you can have is making your own movies and stuff like that, I reckon.
Me and Blake have actually done a couple of skits.
Yeah.
In the early days. We haven't done one in a while.
We want to start doing an actual skit channel.
Yeah, we want to make like...
So do we. Let's do it together. Yeah, let's all get on board.
We actually should.
I'm down.
Fucking funny.
That would actually...
Sketches. Yeah.
I want to make like a show. I want to make a
good.
series. I want to make like a series of like comedy skits. Like
sketch series.
Yeah, like a sketch series. Like and I want to do it at the sponsor. Shout out to Adam and Eve. I want to do it at the coffee place.
Adam and Eve Coffee, the best coffee in Bendigo.
Number one.
Definitely do that. Like the old Wed shows or the Kinney or something, like Troy Kinney show.
Yeah,
those sketches are there's none of them left. It's made
the Troy Kinney show is he's actually one funny motherfucker.
He is. Man.
Which one's that?
Troy Kinney, he's that Australian dude. He does like, oh man, he's good.
Give me an example of a video that I would have seen.
The magic washing basket.
Yeah, have you seen that one?
I reckon I have. Or maybe
like you just put your clothes in this washing basket and then come in the next day and they're all clean.
And his wife's behind him.
You can't be serious. You don't think it's a magic basket.
True.
That's
Kinney. Like, oh yeah, you try it, babe.
Put your dirty washing in there. It'll be clean tomorrow. It'll be washed and folded.
That actually is good.
Yeah, he's got good ones. He's like the first person to do things that people don't say and stuff like that. And then it's just a list of things. Like Elliot Loney, who's another Australian comedian who's an impressionist as well. He's in it a lot. He features in it. And Tommy Seagett, who's the suburban footballer.
Yeah.
Very like could be one of the funniest comedians in Australia. I reckon is Tommy.
Man,
check him out. He's a fucking hilarious.
Shout out, he'll be watching his big teabagger.
Big teabag. They all are.
He would be. Yeah, he would be.
Big crowd guy.
He's got to be.
He's got to be.
Cult following.
Yeah. Yeah. Sketches are the way of the future.
Yeah,
Should put 'em everywhere.
and your fucking your YouTube channel's been popping off a bit lately.
Lately, it has. Yeah.
It's fucking been going ham.
Started doing impressions.
Yeah.
And I've
So
always
random.
I've always liked impressions, but I've never like thought, I can be an impression guy. But yeah, lately I've just been like, no, fuck it, let's just do them. Let's lean into this thing because there was a bit of success. Like I should be just doing that, and then other people were telling me, it's like, yeah, you should do them. You should do them on stage. You should just do them everywhere. It's like, okay, maybe I should stop telling myself not to do the thing that's working for me. Yeah.
Because I had a look in your most viewed video, which was only 5 months ago. You did, sorry, what's his name again? Jordan Peterson.
Yeah.
Jordan Peterson impression has 1.5 million views.
That was a big one.
Is that the most?
Fucking insane.
There's one on TikTok. I did
yeah.
Conor McGregor that went about the same, 1.5 million, which is a lot of shit. It's like to the point where you can like refresh the video and you just see them climbing, the numbers climbing up. It's like freaky.
Yeah.
It's like, how was everyone just watching this at the same time?
It'd be kind of exciting though, just seeing like.
Oh, it's good. Yeah,
We've got one that's sort of blowing. I'm not in it though. It's only Lincoln fucking shattered. Anyway.
brutal.
Am I? Oh yeah, it's me embarrassing myself there.
But the thing is, that's like up to like 88K views, and I'm like, fucking what?
Yeah.
That's sick.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? What is it? What are you doing?
Oh, just talking about school is how he couldn't get a route.
Yeah, pretty much how I just got rejected. Like
is it a clip from this podcast?
Yeah. It's
sweet.
It's like
88 fuck?
yeah, it's like a rejection story,
Yeah, sweet.
and people
They
loved
like-
my rejection.
Yeah, they like to see him down.
Yeah, like to see me beat down.
That's good. Yeah, that's great. Lean into it.
But no, I know what you mean, because it was like weird. It was like it didn't do anything, and then it popped off, and then it like stopped, and then it popped off. It like keeps
Yeah.
going up and down. And it's like you get that thrill, but you also
It's the
I
rush.
try to teach myself where I'm like, it's bad if you keep fucking like looking for the thrill, because if you get disappointed, it really disheartens you.
Oh yeah.
I found that on
Yeah.
TikTok when I fucking got addicted like a year or two ago. Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, you got to not care about it, and then it'll just keep happening.
Yeah.
At the moment you start keep like checking how many it's got. It'll
Yeah, when you're
stop.
refreshing it, it's like it's not healthy, I don't reckon.
It's not.
Yeah.
You just let it happen. And yeah, I got to the point where I can monetize my YouTube, which is a good thing. They just put ads on everything and just ruin everyone's life.
No, but I read like a comment. Someone commented, and I was like, "This is the wisest thing I've ever read." Like, people complain about ads, but it's fucking 5 seconds usually, and it's helping that artist earn money and continue to do what he's doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, that is the straightest fact I've ever heard, because it's fucking 5 seconds.
Yeah.
How long did you watch TV for when you were a kid? And there'll be fucking
Heaps
minutes
of
and minutes
ads.
of ads every fucking.
It's a good point.
You know what I mean?
And these
Like,
ads are tailor made for you.
exactly.
Yeah,
They pop
So
up.
it's
and
even
it's like,
better.
how would you like this massage chair?
Yeah.
For you,
Ever talk about something and it fucking pops up in an ad the next day?
mate.
Yeah, that's horrifying.
No, I was
That's worse than
literally-
a mushroom trip. That
Just got
just worse.
just got a text message. FBI, shut the fuck up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Fuck, they're onto it. Yeah,
fuck. What are we talking about?
impressions.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they go. They're good. They just work.
Yeah.
They
Do you actually, because 1.5 million is fucking insane. Okay, I just like take back everything I just said. If I had 1.5 million views on my video, I'd be like, what the fuck? I'm refreshing that shit like every 2 seconds, mate. It's fucking insane.
It is
But that's
crazy.
not the only one though. You have like a few with like hundreds of thousands now, don't you?
Yeah,
Or like a couple.
yeah.
Do
I feel like there's a couple that have 100,000 maybe, and then there's some 50,000s, and all of them, all the big ones are just impressions. So it's like
Yeah.
someone's trying to say, take the hint, Cody, keep doing impressions.
Doing impressions, motherfucker.
Yeah, just keep doing them.
At least just spread them out.
Yeah.
Spread them through.
And the good thing about him is like you can just go outside and just film yourself talking in a different voice and
Yeah.
put it on, and it does
Easy
the
as
work
fuck.
for you. Yeah.
It's funny because
Literally.
it's not like high quality, like you just said. It's literally you
a
fucking
TikTok.
filming. Yeah, it's like a TikTok video pretty much. Like, and it's getting this massive clout shit, and I'm like, that's insane. Although I was saying to you guys today, actually, even you when we were off air, because I looked up YouTube channel and I forgot who Jordan Peterson was, and then I was like, fuck, you actually do sound the exact same as him.
Thanks,
It's
man.
pretty
Yeah.
good.
And then Blake showed me one just before of the Conor McGregor one. I was like, that is that funny? And I messaged you and I was like, hey, you should do a Conor McGregor
yeah,
impression.
can do it.
Yeah, yeah. Can you do it? Do you have like a line that you've dedicated to it?
Should I do like a point of view?
A point of view.
Yeah. Should you have a conversation with Blake about?
Well, it depends, like what Conor McGregor you want. Like if you want the old arrogant Conor McGregor, you know, shut your fucking mouth, you'll do nothing, you little rat. Stuff like that. Or now Conor McGregor has gone, he's more wise now. You know, it's a bit of pill to swallow, but you know, I look forward to my return to the octagon in my 2021 season. Thank you, Ariel. My foot was a fucking balloon. My foot was a balloon, Ariel. So that's Conor.
That's so good.
I like the little aerial incorporation in it as well.
Ariel, I swear my foot was a balloon. You should have fucking seen it. You should have seen it, Ariel. Sure, my foot was a fucking balloon.
Oh, that's so good.
That is actually fucking pretty good. Because I watched it on the phone, I was like, that's pretty good, but on this quality, it actually sounds even better.
It's weird, like you got to get into the character. Sometimes it's better than others. Like if you can actually act it out, like pretend you're at the press conference, you know what I mean? You know what I mean, Ariel? And act it out, and the more you get into the character, the better.
You got to do the walk, though.
Yeah, the Billy Strut.
Literally, because like we used to do Bane impressions like flat out.
Yeah.
Like Bane ones. I'm actually about to bring it back and do.
Oh
one.
no!
Go.
I actually am
The worst.
But to do them,
Hey, you'll blow up.
I have to put them like this though. I have to when I do
The
it,
mask?
I have to put the mask on. It's like,
That's fucking
ready? Oh, you think you were? No, wait.
You
You think the darkness is your ally? You were merely adopted the dark. I was born in it.
That's good. That's yeah, exactly.
That wasn't too bad.
It would actually...
That was
Not your worst.
It was good.
It's definitely not your
That'll-
worst.
that'll
Yeah,
blow
it
up.
actually isn't your worst.
Go on, give us a go.
Of the Bane.
Yeah.
You want to do the Bane? What does he say? What's the start of it? You thought darkness was your ally.
Oh,
is
yeah,
that it?
that's it.
Molded by it.
Yeah, go
I
that.
didn't even... I'd have to do the mask as well.
Oh, you think darkness is your ally? You merely adopted it. I was born in it.
Is that what it is?
The mask is a great addition. Like you guys are both doing exactly.
It's a fucking... It looks fucked on it.
That'd be great.
Well, was that actually good? Me and Blake compared who won. I don't even know if I sound like you.
You both sound exactly the same, and both exactly the same as Bane. So that'll blow up if you put that as a clip and a sound bite. It'll blow up.
Yeah, we should soundbite from now on.
Yes.
Oh, that's so good.
Tom Hardy, yeah, one of his greatest characters. That guy.
It was a good character.
Man,
but
that was before I knew Tom Hardy, and I was like, I didn't even know it was him when he was acting in it because it looks nothing like him.
what would you like more though, Dark Knight or Dark Knight Rises?
Dark Knight. I feel like Dark Knight Rises kind of fell apart in the end.
What?
Yeah, there's a lot going on in the end there.
Well, he just escaped and then just beat him up like it was like nothing. I was like, mate, you got fucking rolled the first time.
Yeah,
You should not be killing him that good.
And he was too much of a good fighter and too strong and shit. Like there was one point where Bane was punching like a bollard, concrete bollard.
Yeah,
and
he
was all
punched it
collapsing.
out like
It's
legit. Yeah, I was like, 100% agree.
Joker was like real, like a proper psychopath.
Yeah. I think that's what made it good. Like he was fucked in the head, whereas Bane was just like, he was smart and evil and shit, but like, I feel like the end, he wasn't that menacing. They kind
Yeah.
of took it away from him.
When
So I
he
was like,
trained up.
yeah, so I was like, yeah, I mean, you got your
So
back fixed.
This
and that's
cunt's
it.
done some sit-ups and some push-ups and he's fucking just come out and
Yeah,
smoked.
come out jacked.
Yeah. I was like,
Come out jacked and fucking a black belt in karate. And
yeah.
what the fuck did you do down there in that hole?
Yeah.
Fucking hell. Taking taekwondo classes, you motherfucker. Jesus Christ, you got your ass handed to you. You got murked in the first fight in the sewer or wherever they were.
They fucking-
Literally.
You go down into a hole for a few months, get your back broken,
They
do a
sent,
karate class or two, and then you're back and you kick his ass.
Literally.
they
It just
sent
didn't
John
make sense.
Cavagna down there.
Yeah, a bit of John Kavanagh, do a bit of no-gi grappling. Good shit.
That's so fucking good.
Yeah. Yeah, but good, good Banes. Good Banes.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've done it for a few years now.
Yeah, we used to do it all the time.
Every time we used to get drunk or stoned.
Yeah. yeah.
You got to talk into a Coke can or a beer can or something.
Yeah.
It gives you that depth.
The one we could never do is the Shaggy impression. That's fucking
Hard, can't.
Mate, that is up there with hard impressions.
That's
what
a
you should
hard one.
practice.
Yeah, I'll
Can-
practice that
Can
one.
you do that one?
Can't do that one. Never even tried. Would not be willing to just try one out of the blue.
Nah, it's
Blake, you
hard.
should try it.
No, it's hard.
You should try it.
Fuck. Can't.
Say Scoob.
It's so hard.
Say, oh, Scoob.
Oh, Scoop. No. See, I couldn't even
Did you
finish
even
it.
try?
I couldn't even finish it. man.
Scoob. What are we going to do now?
Oh, Scoop. Scooby. Oh, fuck this cunt. Alright.
Oh, we're getting carried away here, I reckon. I wanted to quickly, before we wrap things up, for those who don't know, Cody also has his own podcast here in Bendigo called the Flow State Podcast. And I found this out when I was talking to your co-host, Broden.
Yep.
Yeah, Broden actually sold me our Procaster, or our mics actually, because he works in a music store, and I was like, yeah, blah, blah, and that's how I met him. And then I looked up your podcast and stuff, and I just wanted to know, like, I wanted to know like how you like it, like how do you, because you've been doing it for way longer. How long have you been doing your podcast for?
That one, we started that one, me and Broden, last year about this time actually, and we made this about February last year, for that one. But I had all these other shitty podcasts beforehand that I was trying to do, but I could never find anyone to do it with me.
Yep.
And then I met Broden, and we did a couple of comedy shows together, and then it's like, let's do a potty. It's easy. You can just come in and talk shit.
Yep.
And then we just wanted to get a couple of guests and stuff on, and we did that. But podcasting's fun because it's your own radio show.
Yeah, that's why I like it.
And like what we were talking about before with sketches and writing videos and stuff, you can do whatever you want on it too. Like you can just get on, do whatever, just shit your pants, whatever you want to do. Like it's up to you. You can completely do whatever you want.
And it's good too because like once you start getting like that sort of not cult follow. I wouldn't say we have cult followers yet, but
no, we do. Teabaggers, you are cult.
Yeah,
followers.
sorry. Yeah, no,
Teabaggers.
Yeah, big time cult followers. But like for instance, once you start getting an audience or a fan base, like it's cool when they start sort of getting your jokes and sort of understanding your
interacting a bit.
Yeah, I reckon that's sort of sick. Like it sort of feel like to them, because like I know personally, I feel like I know the people that I'm listening to when I listen to podcasts, and I'm hoping that they feel the same way about me, which is like fucking sick, I reckon.
You build this weird relationship, don't you? But you're like, fuck, I actually feel like I know these people, but you fucking have no idea. You probably never even will meet them. You know what I mean? But like, I feel like they're mates with you almost. You know what I mean? It's
like, it really goes a long way interacting in the post and stuff. Like if you guys upload a video or whatever you guys do, then when the guys who listen to this or watch it comment or give feedback or share it, even like that's massive. I feel like that's the key ingredient to a good podcast is the people who actually listen to it.
Yeah.
Oh, 100%.
And I feel like a lot of the time they don't realize that they're a big piece of the puzzle. So well done.
The biggest part almost, I reckon. I mean, you're not really anything unless you're just doing it for fun, but you're not really anything unless you have that audience to back you, hype you, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We try and like involve them as much as possible, which is like a huge thing that I want to like keep doing because I'd love that. Some podcasts like don't really care, they're niche and stuff, but we want to like, we always ask them questions and shit because we love
engagement. Yeah.
Yeah, it's fun. Maybe we should do a meet and greet.
Without them, you were literally just a couple of people talking in a room for no particular reason whatsoever, which is the definition of being mental. So
literally,
well done, audience, keeping these guys from appearing as mental patients.
Yeah, and because we're not even a niche podcast either. It's sort of like a different variety. So no one's like, so they're only following us for us. Sort of thing, like we're like literally us as like the personalities per se, because we're not fitness, we're not fucking this, we're not that, so they're not gaining anything, we're not sharing knowledge that's helping them.
We have no expertise, we're just talking shit.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
You know what I mean? Like,
that's the formula to any good podcast. Is just talking shit. But you guys like are going hinging off that comedy thing, like you just want to be funny. You want the thing to be entertaining in a comedic way.
Yeah,
Which is a good thing.
We're the opposite of serious, I think. I don't know.
We've done some serious stuff. Like our last episode was a bit.
Depending on the guest, if we have a guest that is like a serious thing, for example, like if it was about mental health, it'd be a lot more serious. Because unless I'm being that bloke that did the stand-up comedian joking about fucking mental people and shit.
Yeah, sick kids and stuff like that as well. Yeah.
Then, you know what I mean? It depends.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it does. It does depend.
Yeah,
but you can be everything. You can be all of it. You don't have to just be one thing all the time.
Because your podcast is very, very similar to our fucking 1 to episode 8-ish podcast. You talk about random subjects going on in the world and stuff. Is
whatever happens,
Yeah.
Whatever comes to mind,
So we did that, and then we were like, this is not us kind of thing, weren't we?
No, it was because what we all wanted to talk about was so drastically different. It was just too hard.
It's too hard to bridge the gap.
Yeah, true. Yeah, that's actually true. Every time we like pitch something to, because when we were like that, we found it so hard to research episodes, didn't we? It was like an effort to research episodes. Like, it was like literally like, what the fuck are we talking about? We have no idea. Sometimes we'd like literally go to film an episode and we'd be fucking sitting there for like an hour or two just being like, we're fucking just searching shit to try and talk about.
Yeah.
And we weren't like passionate about the shit we were talking about. It was just like not good. And then
So it made it not fun.
Yeah, it made it not fun. And then Jay left and it started getting good. I'm joking.
All uphill from there.
Jeez, yeah.
No, we just changed it around. We started doing interviews, and now when we do solos, we just talk about shit fucking relatable about us. Shit about us.
Yeah, it's good. 2 people's good, I think. 3's good for comedy, definitely. Like if you've got like 2 people on one. Like, they'd ever listen to Ricky Gervais and Carl Pilkington thing? Like, they would just gang up on him and he would come up with a comedy gold. It's like, yeah, that's a great formula. No one will ever be able to replicate that. But that was probably the best podcast I've ever heard, ever.
You need to have like a good goal outlook picture, like, and we didn't at all. Like, it just didn't work with 3 people for us. Well, it did, but this is better. Yeah,
and you just get better and things get better. With the passage of time, doesn't it? It's like you just keep. The longer you're doing it, the better it's going to be. Like, did you ever see Joe Rogan's podcast when he first started?
Yeah,
it was shit.
It would have been shit.
And look at it now, Jesus. So
literally the biggest in the world.
Yep.
Besides the Teahouse, but we won't talk about that.
Yeah, and then like,
alongside the Teahouse.
Yeah, and that's what I fucking I was going to say about that. Like, shout out to the teabaggers. We've said this numerous times. Shout out to the teabaggers that have actually fucking watched from episode 1.
Yeah.
Feels bad for you motherfuckers, but
because we turned a few off with our first few episodes.
Oh mate, one of our first ever episode that we posted. You know how there's hype around it?
Yeah.
It was one of our like most viewed for ages, like until like we started interviewing people and like getting actually something. It was our most viewed for ages, and like, you know how you have like a good first impression? Yeah, picture the worst first impression, and that's what that episode was. Because like, I fucking I've gone back to try and listen to some of the early episodes, and I can't even listen to them. Like, they are bad.
Yeah,
they are very bad.
Yeah,
no, they're not ideal.
Just don't go back and listen to them. Just let other people listen to them. That's the secret.
Yeah.
But I'm glad we done them, because like, if we never have done those fucking shit episodes, we would have never started the podcast in general. Like, we would have just always talked about it.
And then you wouldn't be here like still doing it as well. So
yeah, it's good how it branched.
Got to have a starting point. Yeah.
Led. What do you call it? It what's that? It paved the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, paved the way.
Yeah, I feel like you said it wrong there.
Paved
the way.
Oh, paved.
Yeah, what did you say? Paved.
Paved.
With a TH.
Yeah.
Put a paving stone.
I was like, something he's saying is not right. I knew it.
Pave it. Can you pave my driveway, mate?
Close.
Yeah, so you just got to, like, if you have an idea and you know it's what you want to do, then you just got to do it. Simple as that. And if you don't ever start doing it, then it'll never happen, and then some other prick will do it before you, and then you'll be like, oh, I had that idea first, and then everyone will hate you because you keep talking about it and bringing it up. How it was your idea first? And
that's actually so true.
It's just do it. Just fucking do everything. Do everything you want. Do your impressions. Do your Banes.
Take the leap.
Do your Banes.
Do the Banes. Maybe we should start another podcast with just impressions. Let's start practicing impressions.
That'd be fantastic.
That'd be fucking funny. Gold. Well, I think that's all we have time for tonight, mate.
Thanks so much for having me on, guys. It was actually really good.
It was actually
Thanks for coming on, bro.
I've had a very funny time tonight. It was actually fucking pisser.
Nah, I've
had a good laugh.
Me too.
It was funnier than expected.
Yeah,
and I was expecting pretty high, so it was good.
That's all we can ask for. Yeah, excellent. Thank you for having me, guys.
No worries. Thank you for joining us again, Teabaggers, at the Teahouse, and we'll see you next week.